On this episode of the Carolina Sports Guy, we're going to dive in, folks, and look at this Week 4 matchup with the Dallas Cowboys. 3 things to watch for when the Panthers are on offense against the Cowboys. Before we get into today's video, make sure you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Pound that like button, hit the bell notification, be notified of future videos like this on the Panthers. And by all means, folks, leave some comments. I love the dialogue. And just in case you haven't checked it out yet, go to my other YouTube channel, That Carolina Guy, where I talk more than sports, movies, music, food reviews, just anything that's on my mind. All right, folks, we're going to look into this. We're going to look at 3 things that we need to look for this week with the Panthers taking on the Cowboys. Now, one thing about this game, this is going to be a true test. Dallas is home, and they're favored, and probably rightfully so. They looked good against Philadelphia this week. They had like a 2-point loss to Tampa opening night, and Tampa's played well. And they beat the Chargers, who are a pretty good team, by a field goal. They are 2-1, and their schedules have been a little tougher than ours because we've had the Jets, and we've had Houston, and we did beat a Saints team who looked very explosive the first week, and that was the one game we can hang our hat on because we really did a lot of work in that game. But that's not our fault. That's the way our schedule is. And if people are going to complain about that, let's just look at who Dallas has. They had the Eagles twice every year. They had the Washington football team twice a year, and had the lowly Giants twice a year. Okay, we get Atlanta twice a year, but we got Tampa, the defending champion, twice a year, and New Orleans, who won the division the last few years. And we have them twice a year. So we've got a tougher division. Just first 3 games, their schedule's probably been a little tougher. First thing we need to concentrate on offense is we need to take a look at is running back by committee. CMC's not there, folks. I'd like our chances a lot better if Christian McCaffrey was playing. We know their weakness on this football team is our offensive line, particularly that left tackle, and particularly up front in the middle between our center and our guards. We're not getting enough push. And McCaffrey, sometimes only gets about 4 yards, but man, that's twice as many yards as Chuba Hubbard gets. Or Freeman, the guy that we got from Denver at the end of the season. What can we do? It's going to have to be running back by committee. And we've got to help that, because you got to understand, if they're only gaining 1 or 2 yards, Dallas's defense is going to concentrate on shutting down our passing game. We can't pass the whole game. We don't have the type of offensive line that's just going to allow us to go out and just throw the ball deep every play. We've got to have a turnover-free game, folks, and we've got to have the running backs. If you go back this last game with Houston, Chuba Hubbard started out slow. He was only getting a yard or 2 per carry. But as the game wore on in the 3rd and 4th quarter when McCaffrey was out, he started picking up 7, 8-yard chunks in the running game. So we really hope that he can step forward. He's got to hold on to the ball because he's a rookie. He'll tend to fumble more than a veteran will. So that's something to watch out for. Number 2, who steps up at tight end? Now that Dan Arnold's gone, and I mean, folks, I love Dan Arnold. I really hated to see him go. Even though we only had him for 3 games, he did really well in training camp. Didn't look as good during these 3 regular season games, but I could tell after the first game we only had like 2 catches for 4 yards, and then the second game, but this last game he caught some crucial passes. I thought he was coming along fine, but he hadn't scored a touchdown, and he wasn't really being the premier receiver that Sam Darnold needed. So I'm really going to miss that Darnold to Arnold connection. But we're really going to have to get guys to step up. And I think he become expendable, how Tommy Tremble played when he ran the ball in, a couple, 30-yard catch he had in the game. Hey, I'm not ready to give up on Ian Thomas. Ian Thomas blocked for Tremble to get in the end zone because he did a good job blocking. And he can be dependable to catch a couple balls during the game. And do we promote and move up Colin Thompson? Does he ended up getting some playing time from the practice squad? Because remember, he scored a touchdown last year, folks. So can't really give up on him. But now it makes Federer look like a genius for keeping 17 tight ends on the roster. And Dan Arnold was expendable. I mean, we got a great corner in return. And the ceiling for that is much higher than what we gave up with Dan Arnold. And number 3, finally, what to look for the Panthers on offense against Dallas. How is Sam Darnold going to react with no CMC, no Dan Arnold? Will he revert or will he excel? If Dallas's defensive front, not that their front's any better than anybody else's team, but they do have a decent defense. If our offense doesn't hold the line and we can't run the ball, and you're taking the safety valve CMC off and Dan Arnold, are we going to see Sam Darnold revert to the old Jets days seeing ghosts? Is he going to get happy feet? Or is it going to be the Sam Darnold that I've seen the last couple of weeks really gain and get composure? Look, he's been early on a little shaky on a couple of his passes, a couple of overthrows, and he did have that one boneheaded interception play or fumble, where you want to call it. But folks, honestly, the man, I think, has excelled and does a lot better playing for the Panthers than he ever did for the Jets. And I know Bridgewater's tearing it up in Denver, but I think Sam Darnold is doing a remarkable job. And this game, we're really going to find out what we have in him. Is he going to revert back to his old days with the Jets, or is he going to move forward and excel like we've seen these first few weeks for the Panthers? Okay, folks, what do you think of today's video? What do you think we need to look for on offense? What do you think that we need to be worried about the most when we have the ball against Dallas' defense? Leave me some comments. Hit that bell notification to be notified of future videos like this. Make sure that you pound the like button. And folks, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Untitled Chapter.